Hey y'all, welcome back to the Sideline Vision Podcast with your host, Nick Ramp, Reece, Leddy, and Sam Dicus. Let's address another big elephant in the room. Nick Ramp is not here. It's just going to be me and Sam holding down the fort for whatever adventure Nick is up to today, where he couldn't be here with us. Anyways, basketball, Brigham Rogers is gone.
That makes the fourth Bruins basketball player to announce that he would be entering the transfer portal. And just another huge loss. Like, we're not losing just into-the-bench guys. We're losing some heavy contributors.
It's just unfortunate because I feel like he would have been one of those players that would have gotten a lot more playing time next season, especially with all the guys leaving.
Well, losing Sharnowski pretty much took his spot from the year before. And, credit to him, like, that's a tough thing to swallow your pride and accept that you're going to be a bench player after starting 20-plus games the year before and doing it to a level that he was all bench, all MVC. So there's a lot of times where Sharnowski would get into foul trouble and they would bring in Brigham and he would just set the tone immediately. You talk about just tone setters. Like, that's Brigham Rogers. Just Bruins had such a heavy paint presence between him and Sharnowski, two guys that when you're coming down the lane, you do not want to collide with because, they'll send you back where you came from. And so that's just, despite, like, all that he does on the court, just Brigham Rogers' presence will be missed most of all.
You know, I saw both Sharnowski and Rogers at the gym today.
Seriously?
In the Beeman, yeah. Yep. Nothing of it. I just saw them. And it's sad because they're all leaving, and it's, instead of putting the band back together, it's the opposite. The band's breaking up, But anyways, moving on, because there probably will be another basketball departure named sometime in the next week, I would imagine.
I'm sure there will be 2 to 3 by the next time we record an episode at the rate that it's happening.
Yeah. But next up, we're going to look at baseball. Baseball has lost the last 6 games. It's just not been looking very great for the baseball team. I covered them against Western Kentucky where they played at First Horizon Park. I think I talked about this last week, but, 8 pitching changes is insane for just any kind of game like that.
They only play 9 innings. So, 8 guys to get you 9 innings, that's just not the efficiency you're looking for.
And it's not even like it's one thing that this baseball team is struggling at. I feel like there's a lot of great things that this team is really good at. They're just inconsistent. And you talk to Dave Jarvis, and he knows all about it. Their hitting hasn't been hot. Their pitching, especially midweek pitching, it's just not there. You look at guys like Perry, and Perry did a great job yesterday against Lipscomb, 6 strikeouts, and from what you told me, 3 innings.
First 3 innings, just not touched. Like, the first hit was the 9-hole hitter who just hit one down the line for a double. But, other than that, it was first 8 up, first 8 down with 3 punch-outs against a really good Lipscomb lineup. So, you talk about midweek guys like that. He turned in a performance that could have won the game for them, and just the offense just didn't have their back. But over that 6-game losing streak, they've been outscored 53-16. Like, that, you just gotta, like, I get it. Baseball's a hard sport. Believe me, I played it for many years. And every team will go through a 6-game conundrum like that. But you gotta be closer than 37 runs at deficit. Like, that's too wide of a gap.
Especially this last weekend, really saw what their competition looked like in the conference. And really, when you're looking at Belmont baseball, you really only care about the conference play because that's what's going to get us into tournaments. That's what's going to get us looked at. Just very disappointing weekend for them. Not even really a close game for any of those games against Illinois State.
No, I've got 9-4, 10-4, 9-3. That's just, your closest game being 5 runs to a conference opponent like that. I get it was on the road. Definitely moving forward, can't have a weekend series like that, especially with how poorly they've played in non-conference games where it's like, here comes Belmont. We can at least get 2 of these 3.
Yeah, but anyways, moving on to softball. A little bit better.
Yeah, I'd say. Against Evansville 2 weekends ago, swept it 3-0, 11-3, 2-0. Then Bradley this last weekend, 15-0, 4-3, 4-0. And then Tuesday, they split the doubleheader with Murray State, 8-4. That was the loss, and then 7-1 the win. And stop me if you heard this before, but Maya Johnson's a really good pitcher. Honestly, like
1,000 strikeouts. I don't know if you knew that, but Murray State, the doubleheader Tuesday, got her 1,000 strikeouts like of her career. 1,000.
It's insane. I saw it the other day. I was just like, I want to check her stats. Like, she had 380 last year, just an insane amount. She's gonna shatter it.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
pitched 105 innings. She has 215 strikeouts. That's 2 strikeouts every inning as the average. And you think, like, that's a ton of whiffs, missing bats like that. I bet she walks a bunch. 15 walks. 200 more strikeouts than walks on the year. She's given up 9 earned runs. Against Evansville, 7 innings, 1 hit, 4 walks, 19 strikeouts. 19 of her 21-out strikeouts. Next time out against Evansville, 7 innings, 3 hits, 16 Ks. Bradley, 7 innings. This one was a little rough for her. She gave up 3 runs, 2 walks, but still had 12 strikeouts and threw a complete game victory. Next game against Bradley, 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 13 strikeouts. Murray State yesterday, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 12 punch-outs. I mean, she's as dependable as they come.
She's only got 1 loss, too. Like, in that 1 loss, they didn't score.
Yeah, and it was to the number 1 team in the country. I mean, it was to the University of Tennessee, like a dynamite program. So, I mean, I know I say it every week. I know everybody says it every week. Anytime Maya Johnson is starting the game, they can win. Like, absolutely, they can win. But, I mean, she can't pitch every game. So, some of these other games that she didn't pitch, like 1 game against Evansville, 1 game against Bradley, getting those 2 wins in conference, that's huge. Losing 8-4 against Murray State, not so great. Glad to see 4 runs. Sometimes the offense can get a little finicky, but I think they need more than 4 runs in non-Maya Johnson games.
I'm glad they were able to hit, though, the second game with Maya Johnson, because that's been a problem too. Is the team hasn't been able to hit with Maya Johnson on the mound a lot. So what was it, 7-1?
7-1.
7-1,
which is more than enough.
Yeah. That's I'm happy with that they can at least produce something while she's on the mound, because I felt like that's been a lot of their problems too. Is even with the games when she's on the mound, they're not producing a lot offensively. It's just enough, but also at the same time, she's throwing like 12, 13 strikeouts a game.
And when they're not giving her run support, like, at no point does anybody think, oh, this other team's about to blow it open against Maya Johnson. But it does add a lot more stress to each and every pitch whenever, I mean, she's dealing. She's through 5 innings, 2 hits. She's got 11 strikeouts or a stat line like that. But her offense is only giving her 1 or 2 runs, and she's still having to scrap through each at bat to keep the other team at bay. So being able to just put a 7 spot out there, comfortable, more than enough, I mean, that's all you can ask for if you're Maya Johnson.
And then moving on to tennis.
Well, men's tennis had a great stretch. They won 4 straight in the middle of the season. 2 of the big ones, Battle of the Boulevard against Lipscomb, won 4-3. This was a thrilling match, very back and forth. Senior, I probably get this wrong every week, Sabby Roy and junior Stefan Veldovelli won the doubles. Veldovelli won a singles. Lipscomb held a 3-2 lead. In comes sophomore Morgan Woodson and freshman Bautista Durrell's Rojo. Again, so sorry if that's not it. Tough as nails, won their sets for the 4-3 win. 8th straight Battle of the Boulevard win for men's tennis. And then they followed it up with an impressive showing against Chattanooga, 4-3 at home. Veldovelli and Roy won another double. Roy won the individual, then Woodson and Rojo closed it out. And then, let's see, couldn't bring that same fire this last week, lost to TSU 4-3. And then as for women's tennis, it's just been rough. They got swept by Lipscomb 7-0 in their Battle of the Boulevard at home. Then last Friday they lost to New Mexico State 4-0. And then Sunday, getting a little bit better, lost at home to Eastern Kentucky. That one was 4-3. So obviously, would you have liked to win? Yeah, obviously. But at least getting those 3-set wins is huge, especially when you've had such a long season with just the 1 win.
Now getting into golf, men's golf, currently 1 win, 1 loss over this intercollegiate weekend with the Sweetens Cove Intercollegiate hosted by Miami, Ohio. Won 4-2 over Queens and then lost to Bowling Green. Currently are in a match today as we speak, tied for 4th. So we'll see how that happens, how that plays out next week. But as for women's golf, they had an invitational, or they went to an invitational hosted by Lipscomb. Yeah, got 9th out of 16 in the Nashville Invitational. And 2 Belmont golfers finished among the top 20. Graduate student Chloe Tarkany and sophomore Sloan Biddle each tied for 12th place at 222. Biddle shot a final round 69, while Tarkany posted a 75. They finished with 5 shots back of the medalist, Ava Bankston of Lipscomb. So actually, not too bad. Not too bad of a day. That's what kind of not really in the middle, but basically
just slightly on the wrong side of the middle. I mean, considering they came in 15th the last year that they played in this, obviously did a lot better than 15 out of 16 teams. So I think a solid showing for women's golf in a semi-home match.
Now heading into our future focus segment of the podcast. First up, obviously baseball now, and they are playing UIC this weekend. I don't know. I really don't know how this weekend could play out because UIC has played Southern Illinois, another MVC rival, and beat them in a 2-1 series, or it was a three-game series, but beat them 2-1. I mean, I don't know. I feel like anything's up in the air for Belmont baseball at this point. They could beat they could beat a lot of teams. They don't. I could see this just being a 1-win weekend for them.
And that's not good, but you got to get one in the win column. Like, obviously, if you're to a point where 1 and 2 is like cause for like a mini celebration, obviously something's gone off the tracks. But dropping to 0 and 6 in conference play in the first 2 series would just be detrimental. And I know I talked to Dave Jarvis yesterday after the Lipscomb game, and he's frustrated. I mean, I get it. Just seems like they just haven't turned the corner, haven't made the strides that he thought they would make early in the year. He said something along those lines to me. And I asked him, like, what's he looking for out of this series? And he said he just wants to see them go out there and handle their own business. Like, don't worry about the other team. Just go out there and perform how they know they can perform. And I think they do that if they, he keeps it really simple to me. He's like, throw strikes, hit strikes, field balls, and play. I mean, honestly, if they just play their brand of baseball, they can make it a 2-1 series. That would be huge.
We'll say Charlie Davis has been pretty consistent in terms of hitting. I feel like he's always top of the list, top of the 9 batters, and I feel like he's always been very reliable to at least make something out of whatever pitch he's getting thrown.
And really, the thing is, like with your leadoff guy, that's the way you got to go. Like, where the leadoff guy goes, your team goes. And then yesterday, he led off the game with a hit. And I was like, all right, they're about to break through. They're about to score some runs. And just couldn't. But no, he made 3 sparkling plays at second base, 3 incredible plays at second base yesterday. So, I mean, that just shows you the talent that this team has. And I do think that it's going to take guys like him, guys like Landon Godsey, guys like Jake Maddox to really string together consistent performances. Because right now it's one guy gets on with 2 outs, one guy hits a double, nobody scores him. So I think just a more complete 1 through 9 showing would be huge.
I don't even know what the stat is on this. It's just from all the games I've seen. I have never seen a team more times than this team have 3 batters on base, or I guess 3 runners on base and not score in an inning.
Well, they had that first inning, they hit it first and second with 1 out, inning-ending double play. And that was I'm pretty sure that was the last time they had multiple base runners in an inning. So, I mean, yeah, I get it. It's hard to get multiple guys on base in an inning. But once they get on there, you've got to put pressure. There's a huge thing I saw in that Lipscomb game. Lipscomb sent a bunch of guys on base. They had 13 base runners. Only 4 of them score. So when you only have 5 base runners and only 1 of them score, like, you just got to get some foot traffic. And they're just not, I don't know. Dave Jarvis was talking about their pitch selection. It just doesn't, it looks like everybody's up there just trying to do too much. And right now, you've lost 6 straight. A walk's just as good as a hit at this point. We just need bodies on base.
And also, still on baseball, after UIC, they get a Monday break, and then they play Vanderbilt.
Just the worst time of the year for that.
Not great. Not great to have a pick-me-up cupcake game or anything like that. Like, they're literally playing what I would say baseball university, in my humble opinion. I think, Vanderbilt, that's their sport. Like, out of football, basketball, whatever, their new volleyball team that they got this new season, Vanderbilt's a baseball school through and through, and they are scary.
They're a program. They're a program. They're not a team. They're a program, and that's, man, if they can't salvage a win against UIC, Vandy is gonna drop the anchor on them, no pun intended, in a way that it's just going to be hard. Because I mean, if they lose this weekend series against UIC, I do not give them much of a chance against Vandy. That's 10 straight losses. Not too many teams can come back from that at the end of March.
Yeah. Anyway, softball. What's up with softball, Sam?
They're on the road this weekend against Southern Illinois. Southern Illinois having a solid start to the year, about 17-11, 6-2 in conference. Doubleheader on Saturday, 2 and 4:30, and then the Sunday game at 1. I think the Bruins are good enough to get all three, but I would anticipate at least a 2-1 weekend series. Obviously, probably the 2 games that Maya Johnson will pitch. Maybe the first game Saturday and the game Sunday. Probably that's usually what they do with that. But it is going to be a little weird for them. They pretty much have gone away for long stretches of time, home long stretches for time. And now it started last weekend. 2 weekends ago, it was Nashville. Last weekend, it was Piero, Illinois, to play Bradley. Tuesday doubleheader against Murray State. Then heading to Illinois. Then next weekend, they're in Nashville. Maybe see how that affects this team. I don't think it'll have much of an impact, but who knows? I mean, travel can do weird things to really good teams. Southern Illinois is getting them at home, getting them in a doubleheader. Crazy things happen when you play 2. I think to be safe, they go 2-1. If I'm feeling a little bold, 3-0.
Nice.
Yeah, and then let's see.
Women's tennis or men's tennis, both the tennis teams. What are they doing, Sam?
Well, on Thursday, men's tennis is hosting Southern Indiana at 1:30. I think that'll be a good get-right game after that TSU loss. And then on Sunday, they will head to number 62 Memphis at noon. Not expecting much there. Memphis pretty good at tennis. Who knows? I think if they can keep it competitive, keep it maybe a 5-2, a 4-3, I think that would be a pretty welcome sign, especially how well they've been playing lately. Then women's tennis on Saturday, they are hosting UNI at noon, and then Sunday they will be hosting Drake at 10 a.m. bright and early. If you're women's tennis, I want to see more of those Eastern Kentucky type matches where it's 4-3, it's a little bit closer. Getting a win would be huge. At this point, I wouldn't bank on it. I wouldn't anticipate it. But who knows? Maybe this is as good a weekend as any to go 2-0 in my eyes. And then men's and women's track are playing in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Raleigh Relays. So don't know too much about that. Just saw it on the schedule. I know they just got back from the Yellow Jacket Invitational in Atlanta. So back-to-back weekends for men and women's track on the outdoor circuit.
And you had a men's golf. They're a little bit away until their next matchup, April 6th and April 7th. Thank God Nick is not here. But, yeah, they play Murray State in Paducah, Kentucky for both those matches. So, see how that goes. But Murray State, rival, hope to beat them. With the way things look, we don't seem like too bad of a golf team. Kind of in the middle on maybe the better side of things.
To me, they just haven't been able to finish it out like they were playing in the People's Championship in St. Simon's Islands. Thursday, they were tied for the lead. Chris Harpham had shot a 5 under. They had a ton of momentum, and they finished 11th. So maybe in these 3-day tournaments, first day's been their day. The Friday game's been their day. Saturday, Sunday, not so much. Let's see if they can't string together a solid 3-day weekend.
And then for women's golf, they head to Macon, Georgia. Am I saying that right? Macon, Georgia. Yeah, I figured. Macon, Georgia.
Macon like bacon.
Macon, Georgia for the Brickyard Collegiate. And, yeah, I mean, I feel like same thing for women's golf. I feel like the men's and women's golf teams are very much on par with each other, if that makes sense.
Golf term. Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No pun intended. That was, man, we lost our one golf listener. Like the one person who listens to us to keep up with college golf just tuned out. Anyway, but yeah, that's about it for Future Focus. Now we switch to our whatever section where we just talk about whatever we want because we are a college podcast and we can just do that.
I mean, when you come in second place in the SEJC audio entertainment, whatever category, I guess, we kind of have our own leeway.
The rules don't don't apply to the second place team. So for this whatever segment, the opening day of the MLB is nigh. Some say near. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
I think some people do
I think
say
some
it.
people do say that. But right across from me, I would say the MLB expert out of anybody in the office, Sam Dicus, of course. He's literally wearing the LA Dodgers World Series champs hat on him.
From 2020, sorry, not the two recent ones.
Outdated and still talking about the past. And he's got his Average Joe's jersey from Dodgeball, which is, I think, even better. But I thought a cool segment we could do is I have a spinner right here for randomizing teams in the MLB, and Sam's going to give their season preview in one word, basically. All right, here we go. We're doing all 30 teams. I don't care. All right, first spin. Here we go. All right, Arizona Diamondbacks.
Chippy. They're going to be chippy this year. I think that they will steal a couple wins from the Dodgers, a couple wins from the Padres. Good chance that they might keep the Padres out of the postseason if they do that. NL West pretty much goes like this. The Dodgers get 100 wins. Padres underperform but sneak into the playoffs. D-backs look hot for a while, cool off. The Giants are 81-81, and the Rockies lose every game they play. I think the D-backs have a good offense, don't have the pitching to compete, but I think that they will be chippy and be a tough out for any team.
All right, Pittsburgh Pirates. Remember, one word.
One word.
Just one word.
Just
We're just gonna keep.
Just keep it moving.
Going through it.
Skeens. That's one out of every 5 days. All you need to tune in.
Los Angeles Angels.
Dumpster fire.
Houston Astros.
Ending. Dynasty is ending. They are on the way out.
Mariners.
Historic. I think this is the year that they make it to the World Series.
Ooh, that would be nice.
I think so. I think they've got the squad for it.
I had to text my cousin. My cousin's a Mariners. His dad's from Seattle, so he cheers for the Seattle sports teams. And I had to apologize to him after that, after the way that series went. Like,
heartbreaking.
Sorry, dude. It's heartbreaking.
As somebody that was waiting for one of those two teams in the World Series, don't know which team would have been better for me. We won anyways, but would have loved to see Seattle.
All right, Texas Rangers.
Dark horse. I think that they can be a really good team this year.
All right, you're gonna love this next one, the Dodgers.
Three-peat. Easy enough. I think they win the World Series, anger a bunch of people, and we go into a lockout.
All right, well, that's fitting that this is the next choice. Boston Red Sox.
Actually, I'm high on the Red Sox
Really?
this year. I think surprising. I think even though they made the playoffs last year, I think that they will field a better team this year.
All right, Tampa Bay Rays.
Cheap. They're going to be cheap. They're going to trade away anybody with any sort of value, and they're probably going to annoy your favorite team whenever they come to play.
New York Yankees.
All right, disappointment. I honestly don't see them making the postseason this year. I mean, just a little bit of injury bad luck, and this team is sunk.
Minnesota Twins.
Fire sale. They will be selling everyone at the deadline. If you are interested in Joe Ryan, go get him. Everybody's going.
All right, here we go. Chicago White Sox.
I'm going to do like a phrase, surprisingly competitive. I think that they got a lot better over the offseason. I still think they're terrible, but I think that they could get out of the AL Central dweller. I think they finished 4th.
All right, Miami Marlins.
Nameless. Out of Kyle Stowers and Owen Cassie, I don't think I could name anybody. Maybe Sandy Alcantara. Just a bunch of no-name guys.
San Francisco Giants.
500. They'll go 81-81. They always do. Tony Vitello, interested to see how that goes, but they'll end up 81-81.
All right, the Detroit Nick Ramp Tigers.
Exciting. I think their McGonigal, the prospect, the shortstop, I think that he will come up at some point and make a lot of noise, and they'll look really good. Still will lose in the ALDS.
Cincinnati Reds.
Lacking. This team is lacking the thing to get them to the next level. I don't think they make the postseason this year.
This one's awesome. Colorado Rockies.
Dreadful. I mean, just an abomination to the sport.
I remember we were at that vintage clothes store and I saw a Colorado Rockies jersey and I was like, they better pay me to take this thing.
I was going to say, that better be heavily discounted
Yeah.
to the point of no return. Just terrible.
Yeah. New York Mets.
Better. I think as a whole they got better. I still don't like the moves, but I can see the vision. I think they get better. I think they get back in the postseason.
The wheel is outdated. What do I even say now? The Athletics, the Las Vegas,
Yeah, the
Sacramento Athletics.
The A's, I think homers. playing in that minor league ballpark. They got some guys who can mash. Nick Kurtz, Brent Rooker, Jacob Wilson, bunch of guys. They're a fun lineup. Still a couple years away.
Cardinals.
$29. That's how much you can get for that Coca-Cola pass. I love that. That's the only thing worth of note this entire season for the Cardinals.
All right, Kansas City Royals.
MVP, I think Bobby Witt Jr. wins the MVP this year. I think he is one of the most exciting players I've ever seen play the game.
San Diego Padres.
Little brother. They're the Dodgers' little brother. I think this is the year that they really make a push for the division. I don't think they've got the season-long stamina for it.
Milwaukee Brewers.
Head scratching. I wish that they would act like a real team and make real moves as opposed to trading away Freddie Peralta. I think they'll still be competitive, but just head scratching. Spend some money.
Cleveland Guardians.
Same thing, head scratching. Act like you're a team that wants to win. Spend a little money.
All right, the Phillies.
Old. They are so old. They play in one of the best divisions. They got the guys to do it. They've got the pitching. Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo. Then you got Bryce Harper, Schwarber, Trey Turner. Really good team, but they are old, and I think they'll be injured.
Chicago Cubs.
Cubs family love the Cubs. Mediocre. I am underwhelmed by this roster.
Blue Jays.
Revenge. It's going to be a revenge tour. I really, really like what the Blue Jays did this offseason. I think they're going to be a really good squad this year.
Baltimore Orioles.
Rebound. I like the moves they made this offseason. Pete Alonso, that guy's going to give you 30 homers, 100 RBI, 160 games. I love a lot of the moves they made. They need pitching.
Atlanta Braves.
I like it again. Rebound. They have got one of the best rosters in baseball. Had a ton of horrible injury luck, but if Spencer Strider figures out his injury stuff, Chris Sale comes back, Ronald Acuna plays a full season. Really, the only thing that can hold this team back is the bullpen and their shortstop position.
And last but not least, can you even name the team that I haven't named yet?
Okay, give me a second. Let me think. No, I don't think I can.
All right, yeah. Anyways, it's the Washington Nationals.
Oh, should have been. Nostalgic, because I am nostalgic for when they were good, because they are terrible. They won the World Series in 2019. It's 2026, and they've had like 5 straight years of being one of the worst teams in baseball. I just don't understand how they fell off a cliff that hard.
It's reminiscent of the Red Sox 2018
A little bit.
fall. Like, those two teams, it needs to be studied how a team can go from the top to the bottom and just stay there for a bit.
But I mean, the Red Sox, they've at least climbed out of that dweller a little bit to make the playoffs. I mean, the Nationals look 5-7 years away from even competing for that last wild card spot. I hope they can figure it out.
Well, happy MLB opening day for anyone who celebrates, and for me, I will be celebrating the next poop game, which if you guys don't know what that is, it's when the Phillies and Pirates play each other, and the score is 0-0, so it looks like poop. So, I celebrate those 2 days. But anyways, any final words for you, Sam?
Want to give a shout-out to Cole Pippinger. He's a freshman on Lipscomb's baseball team. I played middle school baseball against him. Best athlete I've ever played against. He hit a home run off of me. Just happened to see he was on the roster. Man, I hope he transfers out because he is going to be a really good baseball player in a couple years.
Did you just shout out a Lipscomb player?
I did.
Oh, my gosh. You heard it here first, folks. Sam Dicus. Traitor? I don't know. I was lied to. Anyways, guys, we will see you next week, hopefully with the addition of Nick Ramp. Well, would it be an addition if he was taken away? Like, he's here mostly.
The return of Nick Ramp.
The return. There we go. That's better. Okay. Anyways, guys, we will see you guys next week.